Greetings to all of you. If there's one word that describes St. Ignatius of Loyola, I would posit that that word is a lover. That is, St. Ignatius was ultimately a lover of God. He fell in love with God, he fell in love with Jesus Christ, and made him the paradigm and the model of his entire life. St. Ignatius wrote some beautiful prayers to his lover and endeavoring to become more like his beloved. Because in love, we can't get enough of the beloved. We want to know the beloved more, we want to go deeper into the beloved, and we want to become more like the beloved, the one we have fallen in love with. St. Ignatius is very much that kind of man. And so there's a prayer, a famous prayer of St. Ignatius that he composed called the Prayer for Generosity. And so St. Ignatius, again, being in love with Jesus Christ and the fullness of the Godhead who manifests the intentions of Father, Son, and Spirit in the full self-gift. Father gave himself in the Son, the Spirit gave himself in the Son, and the Son himself gave himself in Jesus, who was Jesus. So Jesus is the model of generosity, and St. Ignatius wants to be more like Jesus, of giving of himself in generosity. And so he has this prayer, the prayer for generosity. And he says, Lord, teach me to be generous. Teach me to be generous. I don't know how to be generous. You have to teach me. Teach me to be generous like you were. I have to learn how to be generous like you were. Only there will I be truly happy. Teach me to be generous, to be able to give of myself and to be able to bear fruit as I give of myself, as you did. Help me to be more like you. That's what the name of this prayer is. It's really a lover's prayer of help me to be more like you. Lord, teach me to be generous. Teach me to serve you as you deserve. You deserve so much, Lord. You deserve everything about me. You deserve that my whole life should be in service to you. You create me every day of my life. You give me all these amazing gifts, and you redeem me, and you give me your sacraments, and you give me your body and blood, and you cleanse me from my sin and confession. You give me so much, and things I can't even imagine all that you give me I haven't even thought of, and the beauty of nature and my family and so many gifts and my particular gifts unique to me. I'm so grateful for that, Lord. And so my response is a desire to serve you, to place all those gifts in your service. That's what I'm made for, is service. Praise, reverence, and service of you. Principle and foundation. You remember that. Teach me to serve you as you deserve, to give as you give, and not to count the cost. I do have a temptation, Lord, of counting the cost. Is it worth it? Do I have that much energy in me? How much will this cost me to give to this person who's needy or the person down the street? How much will this cost me? To give and not to count the cost. Help me, Lord, to be like a soldier who's just doing his duty and he knows it's the right thing to follow his noble king. And help me to be like that, a soldier who doesn't count the costs, even if he does have to spend more time out on the battlefield, even if he has to eat less and do vigils with you. So be it, Lord. To give and not to count the cost, to fight and not to heed the wounds. Help me not to calculate my wounds or to lick my wounds or to notice, well, how have I been hurt or how have I been wounded and how am I not treated fairly? All those things. Help me not to heed those things and to keep me from being generous because I'm all caught up in looking at my wounds and how people have hurt me in the past or presently. To fight and not to heed the wounds. To toil and not to seek for rest. Lord, help me to toil in love. See, love toil doesn't need rest. It replenishes itself. Love toil. So to toil and not to seek for rest. Not to be always calculating, when's my break time, But I want to toil for you in love and not to seek for rest. And when you give me rest, praise the Lord, I will rest in you also. We do need rest. Obviously, our bodies and our souls need rest. But let the Lord beckon us to that rest, as opposed to we calculating, I'll give this much time to the Lord, and then the rest is mine. Not to be calculating like that. To labor and not to ask for reward, except that of knowing that I'm doing your will. So I do want to labor for you, but I don't want to be asking and calculating the reward. I am in love with you, Lord. And my only reward is to know that I'm doing your will. And if you give me great things down the road you choose to, praise be you. But if not, that's fine too. I just want to do your will because I love you. I'm a lover and I love you, and that's all I really want to do is love you. And there's nothing else that satisfies me. So I'm not doing it for the reward, even of heaven. I'm not doing it so that I can for sure merit heaven. There's a little bit of me in that. I'm doing it just because I love you. That's what we call pure love. That's what we call pure love and perfect contrition. For any sin that I have, perfect contrition, I love you just because you are wonderful, and I praise you, Lord. So we thank God for this prayer for generosity of St. Ignatius, teaching us how to give of ourselves, how to be generous as Christ was generous towards us, giving everything because he loved us. Bless you.